Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and we're going to be going over the Control Mage deck guide today, a very popular deck on ladder at the moment for the Mage class. Given that there's a ton of Mage decks that you can build, whether you're playing Tempo, Control, Value, Exodia, Quest Mage, there's tons of Mages, but this one seems to kind of shine above the rest in regards to the amount it's being played and the consistency of the deck. So this is why I'm covering this deck as of now. It just recently popped up in the past, I want to say, weekish. A lot of the more popular streamers have been playing a rendition of this, as this is only a couple cards off of what the normal list would look like. I felt like Volcanic Potion was definitely wanting to add in there, and a polymorph that some players took out. I figured that those would fit in well, given what I've seen on ladder and kind of what what's been looking like out there, you know what I'm saying? So with that, for those of you who are unfamiliar with our deck guides and kind of how we do things, I talk about the deck list, why I have what I have in here, why there's one of some cards and two of other cards. From there, we talk about some basic synergies and some correlation in between cards, just off looking at the deck list. From there, we head into some ranked games. I actually play the deck. I tell you about the mulligans, what you need to be doing, what you should be looking for, how to navigate the game based on your opponent, what they've played, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, looking at the deck list, double babbling book, can't really go wrong with this guy. He's a 1-drop 1/1. He's going to add a random mage spell to your hand. Most of the time, mage spells are pretty good, but the ability of this guy doesn't come with like, oh, you get the random mage spell. Hopefully, it's powerful. It comes with the fact that your opponent doesn't know what that spell is, so you can't necessarily play, or your opponent can't play around it, which could give you a really big edge. So let's say you play a secret, they didn't pay attention if it came from Babbling Book or not. They attack in with it with their 6/6 or 8/8, and it happens to be like a Vaporize. You just got a lot of value off a random generated card because your opponent failed to play around it because they don't know what he generated. Still, and it also could get you out of some pretty sticky situations with like Frost Novas or Ice Blocks and whatnot. The Mana Worm, this is kind of just like the staple for any early game mage class. As late game as this deck normally takes you, it does have the ability to have like a tempo aspect to it. So you start with like Mana Worm into like a Valet or the 2-drop 2/3, get a secret from your deck. You can kind of throw some frost bolts or fireballs their way. Mana Worm gets buffed up, they can't kill it, and you can win by turn 6 or 7 times sometimes, just based on like a really nice start. But most of the time he'll die off, but at least he puts up a good fight in your early game. It's really important that you draw this guy against, like, let's say Pirate Warrior, or like the there's like this Tempo Rogue running around, or even just normal Quest Rogue. He's awesome to have. These guys are always truly, honestly, always looking for these guys in your early game, in your mulligan, and in early game, because you get to get the secrets from your deck, and drawing into your secrets before you get these guys is really bad, because these just draw the secrets for you anyway, which leaves room for your draws to be much better later on when you're not, top decking Ice Block or Ice Barrier, but instead you're top decking like Meteor or Firelands Portal, even Medivh. So these guys really give this deck the shining light it needed. It's basically a bad mad scientist, but even with it being a bad mad scientist, it's still like the MVP of this deck for sure. Double Frostbolt, very staple in most mage decks. The Valet, because there's secrets in this deck, especially 2 Ice Blocks, and when you have Ice Block down, it doesn't pop unless you're going to die. So as long as you have at least 1 Ice Block down, it's going to be down there for the remainder of the game until, again, you die, which gives Valet the opportunity to deal 3 damage to kind of whatever you like, whether it's a creature or your opponent's face. And plus, he's already statted at a 2/3, and he has a Frostbolt built in. Well, Frostbolt without the freeze effect. Very, very good card, very powerful, and will help you out a lot. Glyph is kind of my new favorite card. This card, so much value. Whether you're glyphing for defensive spells like Frost Nova, Ice Block, Ice Barrier, you're going on the offensive like Firelands, Portal, Fireball, Frostbolt, or Pyroblast, even to more value like Arcane Intellect, Tome, just things like that. This guy, depending on the situation you're in, you glyph, and then you kind of just navigate your way to that kind of end result at which you're looking for. So this is super good, and again, one of my favorite cards, because you're able to kind of pick what you need for that certain situation, and every situation is different. So you can kind of, like I said, every game's different, and it helps out. Arcane Intellect, that's the fuel to the fire. This deck really has no draw. It has a lot of value generation with cards like the Courier, the Babbling Book, and the Glyph. But besides that, Arcane Intellect is really the only actual draw mechanic you have in the deck. So definitely running 2 of these is very important. The secrets are kind of just staples. The double Ice Block is kind of like for a Control Mage, Freeze Mage, and the Exodia Mage, it's always must have 2 Ice Blocks. The Ice Barrier, though, they used to play 2 of these guys, but now they've dropped down to 1. And That's just because most of the time the 2 ice blocks is satisfactory, and if you're playing against an aggressive base deck, it's just really bad to draw into 2 or 3 secrets and then your hand is full of literally defensive stuff, and it's just not good. So 1 ice barrier is fine, 2 ice blocks for sure. If you're like, oh, I want to run 2 ice barriers, you can. It just makes the draws a little bit more awkward. This seems to like make the deck flow extremely well. The courier is just more value, so based again on the situation you're in, you can kind of pick the best card that fits your needs. Mage, Priest, and Warlock have some of the best spells in the game, if not the best spells, with like Twisting Nether, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Death, Mage, Firelands Portal, Arcane Intellect, Tome, the list goes on. So there's just a ton of great cards that this can give you, and playing 2 of them, it's just kind of like, why not? Your opponent can't play around what you picked, because not only is it involve the Mage class, now it involves the Priest and the Warlock, so it makes it even harder to play around. The Volcanic Potion is solely in here for the early game aggression decks, so whether you're playing against, like Quest Rogue, Pirate Warrior, Token Druid, Volcanic Potion, super good MVP in regards to being able to keep you alive in the early game and clear off your opponent's board. You could be like, Rob, well, why don't you run 2 Volcanic Potions? Because it's really bad against like Quest Warrior or any other like late game deck. That's why we kind of have 1 Meteor and 1 Flame Strike in here, to be able to deal with the stronger decks, and then again the Volcanic Potion to deal with some of those earlier decks. Double Fireball, that's kind of staple in most Mage decks. Not going to explain that one too much. The Polymorph is kind of a Tekken. You could be like, oh, because you have Meteor, Firelands Portal, Flame Strike, Frostbolts, Fireballs, what do you need a Polymorph for? A Quest Rogue or a Rogue is really popular right now, and especially the Elemental Rogue. So if you can like polymorph one of their elementals and they can't really get the value from it because it has the death rattle of make the fire elementals, it really throws them off guard. Plus the fact that they get a big Van Cleef, you're playing against Priest and they have Lyra, you haven't top decked a Fireball or stuff yet. I just found like having 1 polymorph is not the worst thing in the world to draw. Kind of like a 4 mana get rid of whatever you like, even if it has death rattle, I found to be extremely useful a lot of these games. The Meteor is basically your cheap Flame Strike and cheap just 1 mana lower, but there's a lot of creatures running around with a huge amount of health, whether you're looking at the elementals and or the Taunt Warrior, 8 health, 10 health, 12 health. It just gets kind of ridiculous at one point. So Flame Strike doesn't help you, Firelands Portal doesn't help you, but Meteor sure as hell does. So that's why we got 1 Meteor in here. Double Firelands Portal, can't beat this card in regards to kind of value it generates. Being able to deal 5 damage and summoning a 5 cost minion is so big on like board swings and tempo that you just have to run 2. Plus the fact that we are running Medivh, so playing some of these higher cost spells is really important to get the value off of his staff. Also, there is a downfall with Firelands Portal. Sometimes we will get some pretty fucking shitty 5 cost minions. It makes Firelands Portal absolutely horrible at that time unless you have the Medivh staff. So hopefully we get okay Firelands Portal RNG, but most of the time I get absolute dog shit because you guys know me. Max I would be happy if I get a 4/4 with 5 mana costs, but we'll see what happens. Flame Strike, again, a really expensive spell, works good with Medivh staff. Also great field clear, can't go wrong with it. 2 Flame Strikes, too much in my opinion because you're already running Meteor. To run, no Meteors and 2 Flame Strikes, at that point now you have 4 7-drops. So I figured throwing in the 1 Meteor, it kind of like fits out the curve a little bit better. And you'd be like, Rob, where are your 5-drops? I honestly, Azure Drake's gone, and there's nothing really that entices me to put that in that spot besides an Azure Drake. So we're kind of just we're limping on the 5 mana stuff. Also, most turn 5 plays could be like Ice Block Valet, and that's a really good turn 5 play as well. The Guardian, this is just pure control value orientation. You play you play the Guardian, you start dropping the Firelands Portals, you're summoning the 5 mana card that comes off Firelands and a 7 mana. You drop Flame Strike, you get another 7 mana, and then you can even, there is Pyroblast in the deck, so getting like a Deathwing or something off Pyroblast is huge as well. So Medivh is just such a big deal, and because Pirate Warrior is on the decline, that's the only reason I'm actually willing to put this guy in the deck, because Acidic Swamp Ooze and Harrison Jones and Bloodcell Corsair aren't as popular right now. If Pirate Warrior ever becomes in that 40% of all decks played on ladder, you better believe I'm taking a weapon card out of my deck because there's going to be too much weapon removal. But right now the Pirate Warrior is kind of at bay. We'll probably still see it on ladder, just because there's still some players that it's just a super cheap effective deck to build, but for the most part you can play the Guardian, don't have to worry about getting oozed. The Alexstrasza, this is kind of your late game big dick swinger. The early game you can kind of worry about dealing with the board, not so much as going face, and then on turn 9 drop Alexstrasza, bring your opponent down to 15, Fireball, Frostbolt, Fireball, Pyroblast. There's numerous combinations of spells that will allow you to kind of kill your opponent. And then the Pyroblast. One Pyroblast seems to be good due to the fact that, again, you have Medivh in the deck, so playing large-scale spells is really nice. But besides that, Burst at the end is always good, and it'll save you more. It'll save you more than it'll sit in your hand. Due to the fact that you only have one of them for the most part, you won't draw into it, hopefully, until, you know, 1/3, 2/3 of the way through the game. So whether you're killing a giant minion or you're going face, hopefully you're summoning a 10 mana cost minion, again, with that Guardian Staff ability. So with that, now that we've explained the deck, let's head into some of these games so you can actually see how cool and how fun this deck is to play. Alrighty, so heading into our first game here, we're going to be playing against, another Mage. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty long battle, but I think we have the edge. I think our deck can be able to outvalue most other Mages. If he's Freeze Mage, it could be a little bit more difficult than originally thought, but besides that, we even could get rid of Glyph, to be honest, because we don't know what we're looking for this early on. So I'm just going to look for our Babbling Books, our Mana Worms, stuff like that. Okay, cool. We got Babbling Book and Mana Worm. Normally the secrets aren't something you want to drop or draw early on because we have a card that gets the secrets for us. Okay, so it looks like it could be Exodia Mage with a start like that. So I suppose we always start with Mana Worm. If he doesn't have a Frostbolt, we always get that good chip damage in. We actually really don't even need to worry about chip damage too much because we have Alexstrasza. So we could just worry about basically just value. That's not bad. Not the best card, but it's not bad. And also with him running Exodia Mage, he has to pop the block and kill us in the same turn. It's highly unlikely. I think we always go Glyph. Temple Enforcer is not bad, to be honest. Oh, this is a hard one, actually. Temple Enforcer or Glyph? I mean, looking at our upcoming turns, I mean, what would we Temple Enforcer? We have no creatures, so we'll probably just go like this. This is probably an ice block. I guess we could enforce this. Yeah, he's definitely running like the Exodia or Freeze Mage with the quest, which is kind of just like a worse Freeze Mage. Okay, so we could just ping and swing. Then we have 2 mana left over, so I guess we Glyph. Fireball's probably our best bet. So we Alexstrasza, we coin Alexstrasza on 8, because that's basically going to be the most damage that we can do, unless we chip in 15 damage with a 2/2, which is kind of unreasonable to think of. His turn 6 could be something good. There's no point not to play the entity. I really don't mind throwing in this chip damage now, to be honest. Like, if we could get it down, then why not? So, we'll get in there. Normally, I like saving the Valet to deal with the creatures, but in this situation, he's already 7 off 15, so we may actually get there before turn 8. We got to copy a 1/1. How exciting. So Volcanic Potion ping clears board. Frostbolt, so Frostbolt come out of tome. Feels bad, man. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, Radiant Elemental is not bad. We can go face. We don't have to worry about this 1/1 due to the fact that he's going to Alexstrasza, most likely Alexstrasza us anyway. So as long as the board is cleared when we play Alexstrasza, that's really all that matters. All right, so this gets pinged 100%. This gets played. I suppose we go Intellect. Nothing better to do. And we actually could coin Intellect, but again, we're on the coin Alexstrasza plan. Even if it's only going to do 5 damage, that's 5 damage that we don't actually have to do to him. Oh, they all went face. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Alright, so now we're going to hopefully be able to pop that block ASAP. So we're popping it next turn for sure. So he needs basically a whole bunch of ice blocks to be able to survive this, because we've been planning out that coin Alexstrasza for a long time now. Plus it's an 8/8, so he's gonna have to like polymorph it. Meteor works out really well. Got it from the Babbling Book. Can't really play around RNG spells like that. He's gonna glyph, of course, look for an ice block if it gives him one. Played it. Okay, that's kind of scary. So we basically are gonna have to pop the block. Oh, we have plenty using the fireballs and frostbolts, right? So let's draw first, just in case that is a counterspell. Not a counterspell. All right, so fireball, frostbolt for 6 mana to pop the block seems like a pretty good plan. Actually, no, we're 1 off. So we shouldn't have drew first. That feels really bad. Oh, that feels really bad. Yeah, because that's, fuck. I forgot. Whew. Okay. So I guess we Babbling Book, we ping his. That's very unfortunate. We should have just gone with the spell's face, but if it's a counter spell, it's really just not worth throwing away that fireball. I mean, who's to say that we wouldn't draw more fireballs, which we did, and we did have a Pyroblast in our hand, but I just didn't think it was worth getting counterspelled or something like that, when we could have easily played around it just to draw more cards. Because he obviously isn't going to be popping our block this turn anyway, so this should be fine. Like, the Doomsayer doesn't hurt us at all. This does nothing to us. And we already drew our second ice block, so there we go. So we're popping the block for sure this turn. We did get delayed that one turn, but it's not the end of the world. So now we're forcing him to have the second block. We still have our block, and if he develops his block, he's still not popping our block. So, minor misstep a turn ago, but I don't really count it as a misstep, considering like if it was counterspell, it was the right play, but since it wasn't counterspell, it turned into the wrong play. That's just the part of guessing. Oh, actually, Yogg can save him. This could be very bad. Jade Lightning yourself? A Lamau. There you go. That's that high quality content. Oh man. Oh shit, I think it's the same dude. It queued real quick. It was like, oh, you're going in again? Let me get you the same guy. Oh, a rogue this time? Diggler? Okay. So this is probably going to be Quest Rogue or Miracle Rogue, either or. I think it's fine. I think 1 Arcane Intellect is okay. 2 is too much. And the Frostbolt's always just nice in the early game. In case it is Miracle and he plays like SI or that 5 mana, or the 4 mana 5/3. Keep coming back to life, all that bullshit. Could have been greedy though, but most of the time Rogue decks are fairly slow, especially the Quest Rogue. You could be like, oh, Quest Rogue is an aggro deck. It's not really as aggro as you think. They have to return more cards, and they get value, yes, but they're not putting on a lot of pressure until the quest is complete. Once the quest is complete, that's where the pressure starts to kind of develop. So we could either coin Courier or coin Intellect. I think we can coin Courier, to be honest. I really don't mind the coin Courier. I'm trying to think of what it's weak to. It's weak to like backstab SI, but he's not gonna do that. We could also just go with draw more, and then based on the situation, go with the Courier. Yeah, let's go with draw. I've changed my mind. I still don't know what kind of rogue he is. So like, let's say we get an offensive Courier versus like a defensive Courier. It was best for us to go like the defensive if he's playing like an aggressive rogue, like a tempo rogue, which I've seen running around. So South Sea deck this is looking more and more like maybe a tempo, or maybe just an aggressive base rogue, or maybe even Miracle Rogue with a bad hand. We'll have to see. So the ping lands here. Then we play Babbling Book. We probably should have played Book just in case it gave us something that we would have played instead of pinging the 2/1, but the chances of that are pretty unlikely. And then our turn 4, maybe Courier. It all depends what he plays. This is a pretty slow hand. No mana worms, no 2-drop, or 2-drop 2/3s get us a secret. Hallucination, this is looking like a miracle. Maybe. Backstab SI. Oh, Backstab Van Cleef, 6/6, KK. Alright, Fireball off the top, best card. If not, we Frostbolt it. Feels good, man. You just gotta speak to the deck. Give it a, give it a little mojo push. Good to go. We just need to draw into some of our secrets that'll allow us to make sure we live. Ooh, Golden Mimic Pod. That looks pretty cool. So we'll have to keep track of whatever he duplicated. Could be a big deal, could not be a big deal. We'll have to see. We're at 21 and it's turn 5, so it's not like the worst place to be in the world, but it's also not the best place. Rogue is a very scary class. A lot of burst. Firelance Portal, not yet, so we go Courier for sure, and then we go with the Ping. Thoughtsteal, Blood Imp, Tempest. It's either between Thoughtsteal or Tempest, and I kind of like the Tempest. Because Mage, add a random Mage spell to your hand seems just like a pretty good card. It's either play the Tempest and get the tempo on the board, or kill off the 1/1. It's like, how much do we worry about 1 damage versus getting another random card? We get a random card, we're at 9, we don't overdraw. Our turn 6 is either Blizzard, Secret, Valet. I think it's okay to play this. I don't think he would Cold Blood that. If that was like a 2/1, I would have killed it. But a 1/1 patches, I'll accept the 1 damage for the generation of a Mage spell. Especially knowing that our turn 6, there won't really be room for him. Because on turn 7 is Firelands, turn 8 is Guardian, and then turn 9 is Alexstrasza. So as soon as it hits turn 7, there's no time to play him. And who's to say we'll have room for him on turn 6? Okay, so we could go with, okay, this 4, we don't have a secret in our hand, or I would have gone, if we've had a secret, we could have gone Valet Ping. We could go again, Frostbolt Ping, or Fireball, and this guy. This guy gets played 100% of the time regardless. Now the question is, do we Frostbolt Ping, or do we Fireball? I'm trying to think of he already played Van Cleef, and that's probably going to be one of the biggest guys in his deck. But the Frostbolt Ping, we could Frostbolt face to make sure he can't like swing there, plus the cheap spell, but I kind of want to keep Fireball, to be honest. So if we can get in a cheap deal 3 damage Ping, and we have the excess mana to do so, might as well. It's not like, if we had like 5 mana, and it's either Frostbolt Ping 1-drop or Fireball, maybe the 1-drop was better to play. Yeah, I'm glad we saved Fireball. Okay, so we get to Firelands Portal this. And then we swing into the 1/2. That feels nice. We got a Toont. Alright, next turn is probably the Medivh. If not, it's either going to be like secrets and spells. So Flame Elemental looking for combo, SI Agent it down. Ooh, shit, the Slayer. Okay. So Blizzard could be in order. Okay. So it could be Develop Secret, Valet. Valet hits for 2. I kind of like this a little bit more. That's 3, and that leaves 3 mana left over. So we can even add a Frostbolt to there. Now we Ping, trade, leave 3. Or we Frostbolt, trade, leave the 1/2. Maybe it was actually best to Frostbolt that guy. Save the Ping. And then Glyphed? I don't know. I don't see him having lethal here, so... Or not lethal, but being able to pop the block. So we should be safe in that regard. Only a 3/3 down. I don't think that's enough. Unless he has like Leroy, Cold Blood. Yeah, you need like Leroy Coldblood of this. Or 2 Coldbloods and an Abyss. Okay, the trades are good. The trades are live. Cool. So now we can Blizzard. We can even just Flame Strike and Glyph. Or we'd Blizzard Ping and Glyph. That doesn't make much sense to Blizzard Ping and Glyph. So it just makes more sense to Flame Strike. We also could go Medivh, because we know, but I really don't feel like... We also could go with just Alex draws a him, and knowing that we have the block down, but he's going to pop it. Yeah, I'd rather go with the safer play. I don't know where this lag is coming from. So it's between Book or Glyph. I kind of gonna go with the Babbling Book. I don't know what we'll need from the Glyph yet. Maybe we're looking for an ice block, maybe we need burn. It all depends on the situation. Right now the situation is half and half. Like it all depends if he pops the block. Like if he has a weak turn right here, I don't see why he would, but if he has a slow turn, we drop the Alex draws and we're good to go. Like if this is all he does, then we could just Medivh Frostbolt this and then swing. Then we're still in the driver's seat for sure. Yeah, there's another block. So we could actually go with the Alex draws a plan, to be honest. But I like those slow grindy matches. Bum 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 bum. What do we get? That's pretty bad. So we Alex draws a swing face, have lethal in 2 turns anyway. No, he got the Mimic Potted Vespian Slayer combo. Rip me. That was pretty good of him. Pretty good. Alright, so this works out pretty well. I'm just gonna play the Blizzard just because it's a 6 mana card. I could have Explosioned instead, but I'd rather want to get value from our staff. This goes face. I'll look for like an ice barrier with this or something. Mirror Image isn't bad. I'm gonna go with the image. Because obviously he has combo cards in his hand, so he's looking for some charger to put them all together. Courier into Book, Book into what? Frostbolt. Nah, Flame Geyser. All good. SI that one. Okay. So we saved 4 damage by playing a 0 mana spell. That seems pretty good. All right, my question is, there's actually a very popular rogue build right now that runs the Secret Eater. So if we think that we can Alex Draza him down, swing face, and we get this, like if it doesn't pop, we just lose. So we can play this a little bit even slower, to be honest, just to guarantee we're not gonna get fucking bamboozled by the Secret Eater. You guys could think I'm like a kid and that Secret Eater is like a real threat. So I guess we could just go Alex Draza and then just make trades, right? I suppose that should be okay. If we do that, then we would swing the 1/1 into the 3/3. This would swing here. This would swing here. And I guess we would just play that for the memes. So he would have to, even if he has Secret Eater, he'd have to play Secret Eater, which is 4 mana. And then have 6 mana, and then Leroy, guy on the field, and his hero power isn't enough. So... yeah, maybe we could have had lethal a turn earlier, but I like to play those games a little bit more guaranteed. Even playing around Secret Eater, it seems silly, but I mean, what is it? Cosplay Grill or Asmoda, or hopefully I'm saying his name right. He was playing a Miracle Rogue list that was it looked similar to that, and it was running the Secret Eater just because of all the mages right now. And it was working out for him. It even works well with Paladin because of the new Murloc Paladin guy. So Warlock, most likely Zoo or some form of discard Zoo, which means none of these cards look really that great. If we're going against Zoo, Volcanic Potion is really important. First time I've seen Warlock in a while. Oh boy. Okay. That's a card I didn't expect. It doesn't seem that bad to coin this guy out. I'm sorry guys, we're running in a little bit of a lag today and I don't know why. Probably on Blizzard's end, because my connection before this seemed alright. Old gravy legs. Straight up Murloc Warlock. Interesting set of trades. So we definitely ping this guy down. No point to Frostbolt or anything like that. Then we can just play the Courier. I would say if this was an ice block, we would develop the secret and then we could valet something. But the problem is if we develop... Oh, shit, son. Alright, things just got real. So we're actually going to... We can't ping and swing. We only have to Frostbolt. And if we ping, we do nothing. Oh my gosh. I don't really feel like taking all this damage. So it's either Frostbolt this, stop 3 damage, ping this, and stop 2 damage. What works best with our curve? Honestly, the Courier looks best with our curve. As bad as it looks, this is best for our curve. I guess the Sorcerer. Because on turn 4, we have 2 mana spells, and then turn 5, we have Ice Barrier, Valet. And if we Frostbolt there, we're gonna be fucking not looking good. We're gonna be like basically floating 1 mana for the rest of the game. I'd rather be efficient and fit out better pings. So this ping's here. I can get Frostbolted. Next turn we can develop Secret Ping. Or we could develop Secret, hit something for 4. This is actually kind of scary. This is where a Volcanic Potion, like I said, comes in play. Comes in clutch. I'm gonna get the value out of this guy while he lasts. I don't feel like hitting this one. Could have been a mistake, but he's gonna have to trade the Murlocs into that. We do have Meteor next turn as well. So he's gonna trade the 3-1 into the 2-3. A Volcanic Potion and we just win. But until that time, we're getting bum rushed by Murlocs. It'd be so funny if this is our 1 loss in our deck guide against Murloc Warlock. That would be quite sad. There's our ice block. So I guess this comes down here. Significantly reducing damage that we're going to be taking on board. So he has 6 damage right now. This is still fucking scary. And he is tapping because he's still at 30. Oh, Jesus. If they have Wind Fury, we're almost dead. If he gives them +3 attack, we are dead. Plants. That's bad. That actually might have just sealed the game. We could go for the burn method because we do have Pyroblast and Frostbolt in our hand. Yeah, maybe. We'll see what Babbling Book gives us. I think the burn plan could in fact be what we're going for here. Alright, the burn plan it is. We have 3 turns to live. Oh man, this is going to be a really, really close game. So we're going to have to Shadow Visions, hopefully another block, or a Fireball. Then we're going to have to Cult Sorcerer, Fireball, Frostbolt into a Pyroblast, which I don't think we're going to be able to live that long. Him tapping is really good for us. So we have to get the second ice block from our deck. The Glyph helps us a ton. So I guess first things first, do we Shadow Visions? Is it? We need to ice block, so that happens 100% of the time, putting us at 5 mana. Now we Shadow Visions, or do we Glyph? Because I need to fit in a ping. So I suppose we Visions. So we Glyph or Fireball. Maybe we should have Glyphed first. Because if we get an ice block, then we would have gone for Fireball. But if we don't, then we would have gone for Glyph to hopefully get another ice block. I think we pick Fireball. Or we can go for Draw. Fuck, this is hard. And then we ping. Because this is gonna be... No, we don't need to ping. I guess we go for Tome. Because we have to get another ice block. It's the only way this works out. Him tapping is... I don't know what he's trying to accomplish here, but tapping is not what you're supposed to do. Alright, we have to get ice block. Blizzard could actually work if he doesn't have chargers. No, it doesn't, because those things get popped. Fuck. Come on, ice block. Fuck. Alright, this is our one loss. The reason we needed ice block is we ice block, and then we would fireball Frostbolt face, and then from there we would just pyroblast him down. But we needed that third ice block, so I guess instead of the when we first had the Shadow Visions or the Primal Glyph, we should have Glyphed first. Because the Shadow Visions picks a card guaranteed from our deck, while the Glyph is just a random spell that you discover. So that was a minor wrong ordering there. Alright, against a warrior, gonna put back the blocks and the portal. Keep this guy, of course, super good. Unfortunately, the Guardian has been sitting in our hand for a long time. Every game, he makes his way into our hand, like at the very beginning of the match, and he's like the biggest card in the deck besides Alexstrasza. And then you could have been like, Rob, why didn't you Blizzard the board? The reason being, his guys had Death Rattle, and they would have summoned 1/1 minions, and those minions wouldn't have been frozen. So, that is why we did not do that. Waiting to see what this guy gave us. Oh, thank you. Wow. Oh, that is so fucking mean, game. We had so many chances to get an ice block with 2 glyphs and a tome, and then I just play a babbling book once and it gives me the ice block that we needed for last game. I mean, if that's not ironic, I don't know what the fuck isn't. Or is. Oh my gosh. Oh, that hurts me so bad. I really wish it would have actually pulled the Guardian, but it is what it is. I guess we could trade 1 into here. Right? It's weak to Ravaging Ghoul. We should even trade here. No point not to. Hopefully he plays another Dirty Rat and we get Guardian out. Nah, we're not so lucky. So now he should trade his 2/3 into our 2/3, and then this can actually contest this, and we're forced to ping there, but then we just double trade there. And then we don't get to play a 3 mana card, unless we want to draw that bad. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Does he War Axe it down? Wow. Very interesting. So now we can ping and glyph, I suppose? No, because then we'll be over. I would really hate to have to coin, but it looks like we actually have to, because when we glyph, it's just going to generate another card in our hand. Well, I mean, we're at 9, so we really don't have to. We know this gets pinged. I guess we glyph. Those are really bad choices. I guess Potion of Polymorph. It's his turn 5. It's a very important turn for him. This is where the Direhorn Hatchling and the Ally Armor Smith come down. So I'll take out one of those. Hopefully he plays a pretty good taunt. Because turn 5 and then turn 8 are the key turns against Taunt Warrior. Yeah, see, Ally Armor Smith. Good to go. Get wrecked. I planned it, bro. I knew you were going to play an Ally Armor Smith. So there's the weapon. So it's really hard for me to want to play the Mana Worm into its uncertain and untimely death. But it's going to happen. So now we glyph. Let's look for something good, glyph. It's like a Firelands Portal or a Tome. Something juicy. Not another Ice Block. A Polymorph could make sense. Or go with the second Pyroblast. I like the second Pyroblast. And then we're going to ping the sheep. Because we can go like Medivh, Pyroblast. Having those big mana spells in our hand are really important to get max value from that staff. And against that warrior, against Taunt Warrior, that's exactly what you need. We don't need ice blocks. I mean, having the ice blocks are good. And like getting, basically we have 3 and that's plenty. We need like a Tome. And I could have picked Polymorph, that was also an option. But we have Meteor in our hand, which is basically this gonna be the same thing. So definitely a Meteor onto that 2/7 if I'm correct, right? Because there's really no point to go like Secret into the deal 3 damage. I guess we could go Secret into deal 3 damage into Firelands Portal, keep a Meteor, but then what are we saving Meteor for? This is killing 2 cards. And he gains no armor. And then turn 7 we could go with the Firelands Portal, because he'll play hopefully the I don't know, anything with 5 HP. So there's not a lot of there's not a lot of 5 HP. Ooh, that's really bad for us. Because that has 6, and this is 5, and then we can't fit in a ping, and he drew 2 more cards, which means he has the Drake. That is never good. Alright, so I guess first things first is the Babbling Bucco. Give me something good. Polymorph. So now the question is, do we want to polymorph now, or do we want to polymorph a 5/8? We probably want to polymorph a 5/8. Or a 4/8, I'm sorry. Because now he's going to play the Drake. And we can polymorph the Drake. How close is he? 5 out of 7. We're getting to the nitty gritty in regards to that rag coming out and fucking our skulls in with the 5 or 2 mana 8/8 fire. 2 mana deal 8 damage fireballs. That is never something we want to see. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get any sort of control over the board yet. Every turn he's been able to have, you know, something out there. These ice blocks have been just chilling. So he's facing popping our Ice Bear, which is good. And now he War Axes the 2/3? Okay. Now you give me time to Medivh. Perfect. Not so perfect. So we Medivh, he's gonna play the Drake, and then he's gonna have it for the weapon. But I guess that doesn't really matter. Should I swing this 1/1 into this 4/3? Probably not, because he's gonna swing these 2 into there, and then he swings this here, and then we'd Firelands ping that. Yep. Let's see if he does that. So right now he can kill the Medivh with the 4/3 and the 3/1 weapon. And then he doesn't have enough to play. If he plays the Drake, then he doesn't have enough to rag in the same turn. So I don't think he wants to play the Drake here, because it hurts. It actually hurts him more than it hurts us. Because I don't want Medivh. Like, Medivh living is okay, but it's never gonna happen. So that's why we wanted to line Medivh up with having this, this, and this, and that's where we're gonna get our value from. So Acolyte of Pain. Whirlwind? That looked kind of, yeah, why, what are you planning there? Acolyte Ravaging? We don't go with the burn plan yet until this hero power goes to the rag. Once this goes to rag, we can start using burn on his face because he has no way to get armor. Sleep with the fishes, okay. Then Ravaging, cool. Okay. That's probably one of the worst 7 drops that we could get. Because it dies directly to this 3 drop. Like, this is horrible. I wonder, does this count as 8 mana or 10? Probably 8. That's still good stuff. That's so unfortunate we got an Anaconda, man. That's like literally one of the worst 7 drops we could have gotten. Oh man, I would hate to lose because we got shitty RNG out of our staff. So he goes face and plays his Drake. Hatchling. The Hatchling's not bad. We can actually Firelands Portal ping that down. So now the quest is complete. So he could equip that in hero power and try to kill this 5/5. Okay, so it looks like he's going to try to kill the 5/5. We're going to hope that doesn't happen. We're going to hope this hero power goes face. Please go face. Rip me. Well, we have 20... We have more than enough damage to kill him with all this. But, well... What's that? 25, 6. We'd have to ping every turn. So we'd actually be delayed a turn. So I'm going to go with this plan. Jesus Christ! Come on, dude! Oh, we're getting shit on by RNG right now. I'm getting fucking dominated here. Oh, man. I didn't need the best cards, but just me, like, average cards would have been okay. Alright, so we're gonna make this next Pyroblast count. So this trade's there. He's gonna hero power. I guess we want the hero power to hit the 5/7 because we need the time. So we actually now we want it to hit the 5/7 and it doesn't. Alright. So now this is where the ice blocks come in clutch. So we're gonna have to... Ooh, I would really not have to. I really don't want to ice block and use summon a 3-mana minion. But if we go Pyroblast, face, and then Rag fucks us. Zach's gonna get executed. But if we get executed, then there's more targets, so maybe we don't need to ice block. But at the same time, it's pretty scary. Because we wouldn't need to ice block because it summons 3/1/1 Murlocs. And that's a lot of targets for this hero power. Oh boy. I think this is where we're going to have to cash in some of our RNG. Pyroblast. This 2/6? Probably not. I guess summon a 4-drop. How does that make any sense? This game is so crazy, man. I'm gonna draw more. So, our 4-drop minion was better than both our 5-drop and 7-drop minions. That's just so inconsistent. Oh, this game. You understand that, guys, right? We got a random 5-drop with the Firelands Portal, and we got a 2/2 that dealt 5 damage to us. Then we had a 7-mana 7/3, but then we have a 4-mana 7/7. Like, ugh. So hopefully he doesn't have an execute, and then we could polymorph this down. Hit. Oh gosh, he's popping the block. All right, our turns to live is dwindling. Our power source is fading, but it's not the end of the world. So this happens. Then this happens. Then this happens. I even want to go as much as courier to add another target for the rag to hit instead of face. Because if we ping this, yeah, I think we have to courier here. I don't mind being at 1 to 2. It literally doesn't matter. Tentacles or valet? Well, this is 10 and this could be 13 burst. But the tentacle, yeah, I don't think, yeah, I think we just pick valet. It's a cheap card that does damage. So he could brawl this too. Oh man. His basically, he can't pop the block this turn and we win. But if he pops the block this turn and we don't get the third ice block in our deck, then we lose. And even if we get the third ice block, we can't ice block and go pyroblast. So if he's at 13, which means we need to put him down 4 more points, it's gonna be super risky. This is crazy. This is a good game. I don't mind losing this one either. This one's been gone. I think everything would have changed if we didn't get Bomb Lobber. Because then we'd be at 7 life. And that changes things a lot. Like maybe the Anaconda, I mean, as bad as the Anaconda was, you can't expect, you know, perfect or average RNG all the time. But in regards to that Bomb Lobber, I mean, that was just brutal. That not only gave him a trade, but it hurt me for 5. So there's the Brawl. And we need one of our creatures to live. It's a 66% chance one of our creatures live. All right, now we need the Rag Hero Power to hit the 2/2. All right, fuck. All right, well, we have 13, we have 15. We're 2 off lethal right now. We are fucking 2 damage off lethal. And I'm kidding because we don't have a secret down. So this is where we just play, I guess, another minion and we Pyroblast face, right? Yeah, we needed that rag hit to hit this minion. Then we Pyroblast. Even if he pops block, we Pyroblast again. So he's going to Brawl again, and then it's going to be another 50-50. That's like best case scenario. Or he could play another minion, and then it's still like a 66% chance one of my minion lives, and then another 50-50. It's still at least always greater than a 50-50 if he has the Brawl. And that's best case scenario for him. Ooh. This game. Come on. He top decked what? That's right off the fucking top. Armor Smith, and here's the Brawl. Like I said. And now it's 60-60, we win Brawl, and then a 50-50 that he wins that. Alright, now it's a 50-50. Who wins the game? It went face. Oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about. Let's hit him with the Pyroblast so he knows we didn't top deck the Fireball. Oh my god. What an epic deck guide. Holy shit. I honestly don't even remember how many games we've played thus far. We played the Warlock, which was the loss, and then we played another Mage, and I'm pretty sure we played a Rogue in there too. We'll play one more. That was a super long one, but even if we lose that one, this next one, it's all right. I want to showcase the decks more. This is a super fun deck to play, so this would be a little bit longer of a deck guide. But I think I think this deck deserves another game. Holy shit, another warrior. All right, let's go against a pirate warrior so you guys can see how this deck navigates against a pirate warrior. So if it's quest warrior, we would keep the intellect, but I'm gonna mulligan as if it's pirates. And this is not the hand you want against pirates. All right, this hand is, I guess, okay if he's quest warrior, which I'm hopefully if he is, I guess it was just another matchup that you're gonna have to. Yo, shit. All right. All right, so I guess we glyph here and look for value. I guess another glyph. Or we could go for draw and look for like Alexstrasza. I'm gonna go for another glyph. I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have just picked the intellect. This is not the best one to get. So if we play courier, it dies to weapon. So I guess we just use this time to draw. There's our Straza. Okay. So this is good. We play this right on 10, or right on 9. So we basically just need to make sure we don't die before then. I can try. I'll do my darndest. Oh, man. So I guess we courier, right? We can go with the block just to develop, but the courier is going to absorb some damage. Chemist is value, barrier is life. Chemist could give us Fellfire Potion, Potion of Madness, healing. So I'm going to go with the Chemist here. There's a lot of good cards this card can give us. Him taking that damage doesn't matter. We're going to develop the block and knock off some of this armor. Alexstrasza doesn't get rid of armor, so when we Alexstrasza, we have to make sure he doesn't have any armor, or at least his least amount of armor as possible. He's still 1 out of 7. Alright, so this is where we would look for the Potion of Madness from that guy. Or we could go ahead and use Forbidden Flame. But then it doesn't kill it. It'll be left at 1 HP, and then we would ping it next turn and then play the Cabal Chemist. Or we play the Cabal Chemist, it gets hit by this, his armor goes down, he's left with a 2/7, and then we just hit it next turn, but then he goes up 2 more armor. He's gonna go up 2 armor anyway. So I guess the Chemist is okay. Potion of Madness, there it is. But the problem is, even if we Potion of Madness and attack, it doesn't do anything right now. So we have to ping. And what are we at? We're at 9, so we're not going to overdraw. Okay. We needed him to play with something with like 7 attack, but there's nothing with 7 attack in his deck. The biggest thing has like 4 attack. So Slam swings the 1/4. Mm-hmm. Armor is bad. So we're gonna Forbidden Flame this. And then Firelance Portal that. Or if he plays Curator this turn, we can Potion of Madness Armor Smith and then attack it into Curator and kill it, and we gain armor instead. Hatchling. That's pretty good. I just need something to keep us alive. We still have the Alexstrasza right when we need her. He's going to have a bit of armor, so it's kind of going to be scary, but it'll stop him from playing Rag. And the Rag is how we lose this. We will always be able to outvalue him in regards to his minions versus mine. So as long as we drop that Alexstrasza, I think we'll be good. Yeah, unless he has like 20 armor, and then that kind of sucks, but regardless. I wonder if he sleeps with the fishes here. Probably not. Potion of Madness to take this to trade. Doesn't feel that bad either. I think we would play this though. Or we Straza. But I want to play spells too. Let's get rid of some of this armor. Alright. This is a much better turn than playing Alexstrasza. We chipped away 5 armor and got rid of his draw mechanic and killed his dude, and we have a pretty good board. Fits in a hero power? Ooh, nice. Okay, so now we Alexstrasza. Whew. So now if he attacks the 4/8 and executes, it hurts him. If he hero power sealed slams, it's still going to be at 1. So he's going to have to Ravaging Ghoul to really do anything. He'd have to Ravaging Ghoul, or he could slam it. Slam execute does it too. But I mean, we have a lot of burn in our hand. We have Pyroblast, Fireball, Frostbolt. Plus Hero Power, which is 20, and he's at 20. So Whirlwind, Execute comes down. War Axe. Fits in another Hero Power. Okay. Do we Meteor that? I don't see why not. I'd rather save the Fireball for face. Chip away this armor. Play the barrier as soon as possible.
The menagerie is for guests only.
So he drew another Drake. No, he drew the 6/9. So we'll have to polymorph that. And we also still know he has a couple brawls. So this goes face. I think we fit in another ping too. He's back at 20 life. He's not going to want to attack into these. At the same time, if he drakes, it's still not enough to kill it. So he could like Drake, sleep with the fishes. Whirlwind, sleep with the fishes? Ah, Whirlwind Drake. Runs 2 Whirlwinds. Next level plays, this guy. Next level plays. Alright, so I guess we Courier first. See what goes on here. Firelands Portal's a good pickup. It's a lot of value. We still are looking for a polymorph though, because we need to get rid of this guy. And Firelands Portal isn't enough. So I guess we would Glyph, right? That's really good value. I guess is this where we go ahead and Ice Barrier and we Babbling Book. Still looking for our polymorph. This is good though. But he's gonna complete his quest this turn, which is really bad for us. That's not a bad pink, so we can actually Firelands Portal. Ooh, he's drawing more. Fatigue is a really big thing now. But him drawing is really bad too. There's the 6/9. And then he can even attack and equip the new weapon and have the Rag Hero Power. Question is, how do we get rid of this? Firelands Portal is 5, and then we would have to Valet it too, just to keep the Pyroblast. It's probably worth it. That's so bad. Fuck. My RNG with these random portals is really bad, and we haven't seen Medivh yet, which is also not too good. But these portals have been absolutely atrocious. He actually helped me more than it hurt. Like, I don't know. Like, Sleep with the Fishes there, it didn't seem like it was the greatest of cards. I wonder if he uses Sulfuras this turn. Probably not. Trading in, so he's gonna definitely Sulfuras soon. Volcanic Potion's super good right here. So I guess we Tome first, see what goes on. We know this is happening. We know that's happening. And I guess we Frostbolt to stop us from taking the additional 4 damage. And he has armor anyway, so we're gonna have to get through that anyway. Like, that's... We need to fill out that curve, man. We need to play what we got. I was really hoping to fit in one of these, but unfortunately we did not. Flame Strike does not help us. We haven't drawn Medivh yet. So, Fireball it is. Now it's either Mana Bind or Potion of Polymorph. I don't think Mana Bind helps us. I think we'd Potion of Polymorph for sure. And then the question is, do we draw 3 cards to get to Medivh, or do we wait patiently? Because Fatigue is gonna be a real thing. So we're gonna, we got to. We have to hit Medivh. There he is. So we're gonna hope he doesn't rag this turn. Nice. We can even Medivh and ping. No weapon? Perfect. So the only way he wins this one is if he has a weapon destruction card. Because us pyroblasting face and getting a 10 mana minion out after he kills this, and it forces him to have to summon a minion and then brawl. And then if we win that brawl, that's going to be big. And if he brawls, then we can even mana bind. But I mean, taking a brawl for free doesn't change anything. We'd want to take like, I don't even know what we'd want to take. He has nothing of value generation with his spells. They're all just removal or massive AoE spells. Oh, and we have an answer for that 6/9 too. Now the question is, do we allow our 7 to go face, or do we Frostbolt ping this 1/4? I think we Frostbolt ping the 1/4. Because this is only going to be 3. This is always 7. Shield Slam? Probably not. He's thinking about, should he damage this and execute it with like a Ravaging Ghoul execute, because he still has 1 execute left. Hopefully he does nothing. He'll get greedy. That's what I'm really hoping for. Hopefully he just gets greedy. Hopefully he just plays a minion, and then we can Flame Strike. Ooh. Oh, he's using the Sulfurous now, throwing out the hero power. Go face, go face, go face, go face. Fuck. That hurts me bad. All right, so how do we win now? I guess our best is to Pyroblast face. Give me a good card. Thank you. But the problem is this is still alive and he still doesn't execute, so we probably could just trade and execute. That would be really bad. Fuck. So that was bad. That was very bad of me. That was game costing. Or was it? Do I ping or do I Frostbolt? I think I ping face. I need to maximize damage. I need to maximize pinging damage. Fuck! No, no, that was our 3 extra damage. No, now he brawls. What a fucking lucky bitch. It was a 50-50. Oh, feels so bad. We were playing so good, and then he gets, oh no. And his card, of course, is gonna live, right? Yeah, because why the fuck not? Oh, that's a joke. We got robbed out of this game, guys. We got robbed. We got 100% robbed. Unless Babbling Book gives us a fireball, we lose. Yep, we got robbed. So that 3 damage, so this was 3, 6, 7, and then if our creature lived and it didn't hit face, we'd have an extra turn, and then that was the ping for the 8. I'm pretty sure we would have had this in the bag if we didn't get screwed right there. Like that 3 damage mattered, and then us, we didn't have to win the brawl with the biggest creature, but just not losing it, right? Because it doesn't matter if we ice block, we still lose next turn. Whatever, I'll take the loss. It was unfortunate. There's a couple things that happened there. The Buzzard being our 5 mana card, the Medivh being at the bottom, what, 8, and then the unfortunate brawl there. But there was the misplay with the Deathwing too. Can't forget that. So what we should have done was Frostbolt ping that 1/4, or we should have just Flame Strike, to be honest, because there was never going to be a good Flame Strike, and a Flame Strike's going to summon a 7 mana dude. So there was definitely plays that could have gone better, but I think we navigated the game fairly well with the information that we knew. But anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the deck guide. Super fun deck. There's definitely A lot you can do with the deck. I mean, as you can see, there's so many decisions per turn, especially when you're going against another like control class. It gets kind of in depth and in detail there in what regards of what to use and what not to use. And with the longer games, you know, there's some big RNG sways with cards like Brawl and Dirty Rat and stuff like that. But for the most part, if you play the deck well against other control decks, you will come out on top, because there is just a lot of value in this deck with cards like Medivh and Firelands Portal. But most of the time, you get at least average minions. Getting below average minions multiple times in a consecutive games is just kind of like, that's just unfortunate. That's just part of Hearthstone, though. So, as always, I'll catch you guys in the next deck guide. Of course, I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.